How's everybody doing tonight? Good. We all getting ready to go maybe back to school tomorrow? I don't know. Is everyone going back like normal? Yeah. Yes, I'm going back to school tomorrow. Thank you, Brandon. Happy New Year to all of you also. Yes. So tomorrow's Monday, back to school. Okay, so we are going to start Number the Stars, which, like was already said, is it's a really great book. Okay, it's about the Holocaust, specifically in Denmark. So this class is kind of like an introduction to where is Denmark, why is Denmark important, and pretty much how does Denmark, like what's going on there during World War II. Okay, because you never really hear that much about Denmark, especially when we study World War II. We primarily stay dealing with the countries of Germany, France, Britain. You know, we get the United States after we are bombed in Pearl Harbor. We deal with them a lot. We don't really deal that much with the Scandinavian countries of Denmark and Finland and Sweden. So this book, Number the Stars, is a really great glimpse as to what exactly was going on there. Because it was, the Scandinavian countries were treated very, very differently by the Nazis compared to the rest of Europe. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Oh, I have to give you sound too. All right, so we start with, you all received, I'm really hoping that we have already read Denmark in the War, which, no, that's this one. Okay, so this one got sent out earlier today, I think so. So this is Denmark in the War, and then Denmark country facts. So we're going to start with the country facts first, just so we can kind of figure out where are we in our discussion. Okay, so there's different questions that you guys are going to help me with. Okay, I lost my chat box. Hold on a second. This is not, let me see where my chat box went. Why can I not find it? Oh, there we go. Okay, I don't know what that says, but that's fine. All right, so we are going to start with, where are we? Well, Denmark is part of what the Europeans can consider, sorry, as I literally just lost it, Scandinavia. You like Totowa Titans. Brandon, Totowa Titans is the name of my school that I teach at. So Totowa is the name of the town that I work in, and Titans is our mascot. So that's why my background is that, because I use this computer a lot for school, you know, school spirit. All right. So we are dealing with this really little, let me get my, thank you. Let me get my fun spotlight tool. Here we go. The spotlight tool is bigger than Denmark is on this map. Awesome. So we are all the way up here in the red. So whenever we deal with Scandinavia, we're talking about this section up here. So we have Denmark, Finland, Sweden. They're all very, very close to each other. Like, look how close Denmark is to Sweden. Like, it's a very short boat ride across the Baltic Sea. And then obviously we have a little bit of Germany. Oh, Brandon, you've been to Denmark? Ooh, Brandon, remind me to have you tell me about Denmark in a little bit, okay? And you can assess if my information is correct. I have an expert in the place now. All right, so we have the North Sea, which is obviously in the north. We have Germany in the south. We have Sweden on the east. I have never been there also. It's on my bucket list. And then the west is pretty much the Atlantic Ocean. So it is cold. It's a lot colder in Denmark than it is for where I am in the United States in New Jersey, because I'm over here, and where you guys are over here in China. But I've read this book like 100 times. Oh, Ariana. Nice. All right. Now that we've figured out where are we in the world, okay, let's get down to some country facts. Okay. So we're going to work with these questions first to just kind of give us like basic information about the country. We are in the, okay. So we're going to be working with like the official name, the location, which we just did, the capital, the language, the money, the political system. So what type of government they have, the geography, what does the land look like? Because in Number of the Stars, we get to see what does a major city look like, Copenhagen, and then we get to see what the countryside looks like. Very different, which is understandable, you know, and it is very similar to, I'm sure, what your cities and what your countrysides look like, you know. Popular food, popular forms of transportation, which our characters will use popular forms of transportation back when this book is set, so in the 1940s, and then some animals and insects, because who doesn't want to see what animals live in other countries? Animals are just fun. So that's really what that is. All right, so I have my lovely questions here, and I have our country facts here. Okay, so this is going to be interesting if I can get all of this to show up on the same screen. All right, so like we already talked about, look how colorful these buildings are. Like, that's just fun, you know? I want to live in a place like this. It's just fun. Okay, so we're in, obviously, Northern Europe, and Denmark has more than 400 islands. Like, that's a lot of islands. New Jersey has no islands where I am. No islands at all. Okay, so how am I'm going to get rid of that. Sorry, this is a matter of how can I get things to snap into place? I don't hate that. Okay. I don't hate that also. But I am missing my chat box. Chat box. Okay, and I got my chat box. Okay, so who wants to, I know this is a little small, I know, I'm sorry. Who wants to help me with the first couple questions? So we are looking for the official name, okay? We can probably do with the location, the capital, okay? So pretty much we're looking to fill in as many of these questions as we can from this first page. So who wants to help me out first? Don't all raise your hand at once. What do we think? So let's see. What is the official name of Denmark? Oh, nice, Ellie. Ellie is correct. So the official name of Denmark is the Kingdom of Denmark. So if the name is the Kingdom of Denmark, what kind of a person in charge do they probably have? I didn't want to say the other word. I didn't want to give it away. So we have Kingdom of Denmark. Okay. Yes, they have a king. How crazy is that? That countries today still have kings who are pretty hands-on. Because normally when we think of kings, okay, and queens, we think of like medieval times with like knights and castles, and we don't really see that many today. There's not as many as there once were, okay? So continuing with our king, the form of government is a constitutional monarchy. Do we know what that means? Like, yeah, there's a king, but is that it? Here we go. What is constant? Oh, I wish there is a queen because she's married to the king. Constitutional monarchy. So what does constitutional monarchy actually mean? So we have our king in place. They do have power. Do they have to share the power with anyone else? We are unsure. I like this. So in a constitution, ooh, Brandon, did you just Google that? Did you just look that up? Because if so, you are correct. And Mickey, you are correct too. Well, sort of. Let's see. Brandon has stated, constitutional monarchy is a form of monarchy in which the sovereign, the ruler, the leader, exercises authority in accordance with a written or unwritten constitution. So a constitution is a series of laws, rules that everyone in the country has to follow, okay? Even the king or queen. So in a constitutional monarchy, the king is in charge, but he has to follow the rules. They have a lot of palaces, do you mean, Dolly? So he has to follow the rules just like everybody else. He can't just be like, today's Tuesday, everyone will wear red today. No, that's not how that works. He has to follow the rules that are written down. And normally there is a parliament, a group of lawmakers, a group of politicians that represent the people and work with the king or queen in this case. So Britain is an example of a constitutional monarchy. Okay, obviously we have the Queen of England, and she is in charge. She does not have, she's not as significant as she once was in the British government, unlike the Danish king. He is very with it. Okay, so let's see. So we did the official name, we did the government. So refresh my memory, because, you know, I'm old and I forgot already. Where's Denmark? If I said you have to write where Denmark is in a sentence, what would you say? Oh, Brandon, you and that internet, you are doing well. Brandon is correct. Who could add to Brandon's statement? Like, what is it near? What type of land system is it? Sorry, Brandon, we're on to you. What makes up Denmark? Remember I said, I was like, wow, that's a lot of blah, blah, blah. So here, we'll start with Brandon's sentence. Kelly, you were correct. It is a country. Good. So where is Denmark? Oh, where is Denmark located? Located in Northern Europe. Good. Next to Sweden. Good. Very good. I love that. And then could we say, sorry, Brandon. Let's do surround. I spelled surrounded wrong. That's really sad. I still can't spell. Wow. Surrounded by what water? Because I don't just want to say surrounded by water. I want to try to be like specific here. So what water? Seawater. I like it. I like it. That's definitely a type of water. It's very salty. What sea or what ocean? Should I, let me see if I can make this bigger. Oh, that's a little, that's very large. I don't know about that. I'm still trying to get my cat box to come back. That's annoying. It's not an island. You are correct. It's not an island. So it is actually a peninsula. So a peninsula has water on 3 sides. like Denmark does. Sorry, I'm just moving things around again. Okay, the North Sea and the Baltic Sea. Nice. North Sea and Baltic Sea. Okay. I think like Florida, very good. And New Jersey. No one ever thinks of New Jersey as a peninsula. Or Italy. There you go. There's another peninsula. Oh, and it has 400 islands that are technically a part of it. All right, capital city. This one. Oh, India. Good one. Sorry, that's not the capital city. We're getting another example of a peninsula. Good job. Copenhagen is the capital. Very good. And we are going to look at, I have a quick little video of like a drone, you know, like the flying things. That's a really bad example that goes through the city of Copenhagen. So you can actually see, because that's where our main characters live. All right. The official language. What do we think? Official language. Danish, very good. And it is also the name of like their culture, the Danish culture. Okay. What type of money is used? Still the same money that is used in our book from the 1940s. Krone, very good. We have constitutional monarchy. What's the land like? Well, we know there are islands, peninsulas. You know, I think we're good for right now. Obviously, we'll get more into that. Let's see. Here we go. More than 400 islands. Mostly flat with rolling hills. Okay. Mostly flat with rolling hills. Sorry, I'm reading Brandon's. I Googled again. I love that he states that. I love it. Okay, so wait, let's read. This is what Brandon has stated. Denmark, a country occupying the peninsula of Jutland, which extends northward from the center of continental Western Europe and an archipelago. Archipelago is a country that is made up of islands, an area that's made up of islands. Of more than 400 islands to the east of the peninsula. Along with Norway and Sweden, Denmark is part of the Northern European region known as Scandinavia. He technically has been there, so he does know these. He knows these things already. So, very good. So there are. It's like any other land, you know, that we would see today. It's not tropical. So that's really like the main difference. It does have like the 4 seasons. They do get snow. They get summer like we do, like we all do. Granted, it's a little bit cooler just because they are so they are closer to the they're closer to the North Pole. So the closer you get, the colder it does get throughout the year. Very nice. All right, people, culture. Let's see, what is a popular food? Because food is important to know if we are going to travel to a country. Yes. So we have an open sandwich called, I'm going to butcher these names, and I apologize because they are in Danish and I do not speak Danish. Smørrebrød, which is a typical Danish lunch. So it's a sandwich, okay, that has cold cuts. So cold cuts are meat that has been sliced, and it's typically cold, you know, it's like from the refrigerator. So sliced turkey, sliced chicken, sliced ham, very, very thin, and you put it on bread, okay? It's cheese, and the bread is normally rye bread, which is, it's not ew, Dolly, it's good. Rye bread is a very, very dark bread. Yes, it is sliced. A lot of times the sandwiches, the bread is not put together, it's flat. Is there a picture? No, of course not. Of course, why would there be a picture? All right, so let's add sword, open sandwich. And I love that my spell check is like, he spelled that wrong. No, he didn't. He spelled it correctly. It's just not in English. Okay, so let me see if I can get you a picture, because sometimes it is always good to look at a picture. Ah, here we go. So this one is made with salmon. Don't worry, it's just my children throwing themselves at the door. So this is what they mean by an open-faced sandwich. So it is bread with typically something smeared on it and then meats on top of it, or fish. So lots of different options. And this is what they would like typically have for lunch. The salmon is, well, it's raw in a sense. Normally it's raw or it's been like smoked. So it is completely safe to eat. The other meats have been cooked. Yeah. I don't know about you, but these are some fancy sandwiches to have for lunch. Look at all of these. And here is that example of the rye bread. It is like a dark bread. Sometimes it is healthier. Brandon, smoked is just, it's a way to cook meats. And it has, oh, you're asking, oh, okay. I think she meant, Hanlu meant like smoke, like she likes the flavor of the smoked. All right, so let's take, take a picture of one of these and we'll add it to our discussion page. Let's do, we'll do you because you're fancy looking, why not? No, no one wants that. That's not helpful. Where'd it go? Hold on, I gotta make it bigger so I can go to the back. Okay. And we'll make you smaller, and we'll put you over here for right now. Okay, so let's see. What is the most popular form of transportation? This is not working the way I wanted it to work. Okay, popular forms of transportation. Okay, what do we think? I don't need to do anymore. The sea, okay, walking, biking. By sea, do you mean like swimming in the sea? Or do you mean like boats? Okay, good, boats. I was really hoping you weren't going to say swimming, because if that's the case, I am not going to this country because I don't want to swim in the sea. Sorry. Okay, so yes, you are correct. We have bicycles, we have walking. Bicycles are the most popular form of transportation. Double marine, I don't know what that means. You kind of want to try the sea. Okay, it's going to be cold, but have fun. And then let's see, what kind? Government, history. Let's see, what's the largest mammal? Largest mammal. It's always a good one. Oh, that's nice, Ellie. Largest mammal. Not a whale, sorry. No, that not in the world. Although you're correct. Well, no, I mean the largest mammal that lives in Denmark. Reindeer. Sorry, red deer, excuse me, red deer. They're very different. Very good. They're very large. Okay, and we got some wonderful red deer as the largest animal. This is what they look like. They're literally deer that are red. Sorry, it's like a terrible description. It's kind of like an elk. I think these are actually bigger than elks, but okay, so we got red deer over here. We got our lovely sandwich over here. We do have the money. This is what the money looks like. So like, it's like coins and bills, just like anybody else. Obviously their money has pictures of their king, you know, as opposed to like somebody else's king or ruler. It's theirs. Okay, so that's what we got for this. All right, so that is pretty much the country. So that's Denmark in a very, very brief. Lego City. Lego City is very popular. Legos are very Scandinavian. There. Okay. So let's take a picture of this so we can save it. So that way I remember what we did. Always fun. And we'll add it to our page. There you go. Look how like professional that looks. I like it. I know some of you are like, all right, whatever. I don't really care. Okay, so I'm just getting rid of some of the excessive amount of screens I have going on right now. A whole room filled with Lego toys. There's actually a hotel where like the furniture is made out of Legos. Just saying. You can like Legoland. There's one in Denmark. There's one in Sweden that you can stay in. It's a very big tourist attraction. Speaking of tourist attractions, let's go to Copenhagen. All right, so let's do we'll do the drone first because it's just, there's nothing like to read. There's nothing to listen to, like, and it's just images of the city, which is really pretty. Let's be honest here. And you kind of get to see where our main characters are going to be living. I'm trying to make this here. Okay, here we go. It's very pretty. And I gave you, yes, I did give you sound. Statue that they just showed that everybody was like taking pictures of is the Little Mermaid. And Hans Christian Andersen, the author of the Little Mermaid, was from Copenhagen. He wrote the story while he was living there. So that's why it's a very popular tourist attraction. Of course, Brandon has been there. Nice, Brandon. So that was a lovely like visual tour of the main city. Okay, and we're going to see the importance, okay, of the location of Denmark compared to Sweden, okay, and why the water and the boats are so important, okay, and we get little glimpses into drones, yes, we get little glimpses into what city life is like during the occupation of the Nazis. I like to span the chat. Okay, Ariana, I guess we could do that. Okay, so that is an overview of Denmark. Where are we? The setting of our story. And then now we come to Denmark in the war. Because Denmark in the war, compared to it prior, it was very different. Obviously, they were still not as restricted as other areas that were occupied by the Nazis. So here is a map. So this is April of 1944. Okay, so pretty much our time frame for our story. And all the red, okay, is what the Nazis have occupied. So Nazi Germany, over here, they, when Adolf Hitler took power, took control of the country, he wanted to make Germany a much larger entity, a world power. Okay, they had been very, very badly punished after World War I, unless they started it. And Hitler wanted Germany to be powerful yet again. Yes, definitely. And so he began invading the neighbors of Germany. And it starts with Poland, and it starts with taking Deutschland, which is like a region up here. And it just kind of like mushroomed out to pretty much all of the red. Anything you see in white is neutral. They did not choose a side during World War II. Okay, so you have Sweden, which is going to be very important to our main characters. We have Ireland, we have Spain, Portugal, Switzerland, Turkey. They completely stay out of the war in general. Anything that you see gray is part of the Allies. So the Allies were the group of countries that fought against Hitler and his other allies, his other Axis powers. So the main ones will be Great Britain, the Soviet Union, and then later on the United States. France was fighting against Germany, but come 1944, they are invaded. So it is all Nazi occupied. The Nazis placed very, very strict laws and limitations on what the people of these conquered countries were allowed to do, except for Denmark, Norway, and Finland. They were a little bit easier with them. All right, so here is the King of Denmark during this time period, Christian X. That's what that X means. X is Roman numeral for 10. And his reign, so from when he was in charge, he was from 1912 to 1947. So he makes it almost to the end of the war. And he is allowed to keep control of the country. He's allowed to remain in power, because a lot of the times when the Nazis would occupy a country, they would get rid of all of the government workers. They would just fire them all or execute them, depending on the country. But they allow the king to continue ruling, and he did die. He died from an illness after he was arrested. He was a very big, he very publicly spoke out against the Nazis, and he spoke out against how they were treating the Jewish population, both in Denmark and elsewhere in the world. And he was a very big supporter of the Jewish population, even though they made up a very, very, very small percentage of his country, which is really nice. Okay, so what's that sound? That's my kids. That's my children. Sorry. They are eager to chat with some of you. Yes, Ariana, you are correct. So Ariana is mentioning the yellow star that the Nazis forced the Jewish people to sew onto their clothes to easily identify them, except the Jews in Denmark did not have to wear the yellow star. It was one of the few places that they didn't have to wear it. Yes, but the Nazis felt that the Jewish people, primarily in Europe and elsewhere in the world, were the problems of society, and they will later on try to exterminate them. That's the technical term that they're going to use. The easier version is they are going to attempt to kill, to get rid of all the Jewish people in Europe. Yes, the Holocaust. Very good. So there were, depending on where you lived, the Jewish people were not allowed to own businesses, own homes, go to schools, participate in religious activities, use public transportation. A lot of them were forced to move from their homes into other parts of the cities. And then eventually, in most of Europe, they will be removed completely from the cities and forced into concentration camps, work camps, death camps, trying to get rid of them. Except in Denmark. Denmark is this wonderful example of what happens when the people actually stand up to the Nazis. So, all right, let's take a look at some of these questions, okay? Because I'm hoping that the majority of us have read this, and if not, you can just kind of participate as best as you can. Yes, Diary of Anne Frank is a great firsthand account of what was it like to be a Jewish person living. So you can go to Anne Frank was a young Jewish girl around your age, and her family went into hiding and they hid in an attic in Amsterdam. And they were there for, I want to say 2 years before they were found out. And then the entire family was sent to concentration camps, and only the father survived. And when he returned back to Amsterdam, he found his daughter, Anne. He found her diary, and they published it as a book. So it's her autobiography of what it's like. So it really is an amazing book. Number the Stars, behind a bookcase in an attic. Secret annex, to be a secret area that no one knew about. Very good. So Number the Stars is technically historical fiction. So it is different than Anne Frank. Annex, very good. But it is all of the facts, all of the information in the book is actually true. The characters, except for the king, the characters are made up. They're fictional. Annie, you read The Diary of Anne Frank or Number the Stars? Sorry, because you said I read the book before. Which book? Number the Stars. Ah, yes, it's a very good book. Okay, so let's see. Matching some questions. So we're going to match the question to the statement, the answer. Let's go ahead. Okay, what does the word Reich mean? A lot of times you'll hear, especially in regards to the Nazis, you'll hear the Third Reich. Very good, Ellie. So yes, Ellie is correct. It is B. It's a German word that translates to realm. It has historically been used to signify the periods of rule of different empires. So the Nazis believed that didn't work out well, but all right, I don't hate that. I'm okay with that. Oh, I'm writing the wrong letter. Thank you. The Nazis believed that they were in the Third Reich and that this will be the final one and they will rule forever. And that didn't really work out for them, as it shouldn't have. Okay, very good. So 2, what did the Danish prove to the world by resisting the Nazis and supporting the Jews? So if we, here, I'll use my fancy tool that, there go, B is gone, so we don't get confused. Let's see. Oh, we gotta, let's see. Is it D? Is it A? Which one? So let's see. I'll read the question one more time. What did the Danish prove to the world by resisting the Nazis and supporting the Jews? Okay. So some of us are saying A. So let's look at A. In many places, it was providing help or shelter to Jews was punished by death. Is it really showing how they are resisting? Okay. Or D, because now a lot of you are changing your answer to D. So let's say lives could be saved by resistance by lives could be saved by resistance to Nazi policies and widespread support. It's D. A lot of countries just allowed the Nazis, once they were conquered, to do whatever they wanted, and they didn't really stand up and they didn't really fight back. Okay, but the Danish were very good. They had their resistant movements. They had their groups that were quietly fighting against, I don't want that, fighting against the Nazis and just really what they were doing in the country. Okay, so I want D here. Okay, let's see. Great. Why are most bystanders? A bystander is a person. It's like a normal person who's not involved. Okay, so why were most bystanders too afraid to help victims of Nazi policies? What do we think? Good. Now we're going with A. Good. Because a lot of the time, if people did help, okay, if they did try to stand up to the Nazis, a lot of times they were arrested and they could either be killed right there on the spot or they could be sent to concentration camps, work camps, death camps. Okay, so a lot of people really just didn't. They were too afraid to get involved. Okay. Why was the Danish rescue effort unique? Why was it so special? Well, yeah, we only have one left. The Danish rescue effort was unique because it was a nationwide attempt to help save the Danish Jews. Completely correct. Okay, and it really shows how, with like a little bit of information, what a country can do. Because they do, the Danish people do end up saving almost their entire Jewish population in a matter of like a month. It's insane. There's our answers.